Live from the tank on the campus of the College of Staten Island, CSI Sportsnet is proud to welcome you in to NCAA Division II women's basketball coverage streaming exclusively on Flow College. Tonight, the College of Staten Island Dolphins host the Bentley University Falcons. Good evening, everybody. My name is Joe Foreman, alongside Nick Durst and Nicholas Pavona. And this Dolphins team has really had some ups and downs early this season. They got their season off to a strong start with a win, had a bit of a letdown in Game 2. They bounced back with a win in Game 3 and had another letdown in Game 4. We don't really know what to expect tonight, Nick, but what are you looking for from this Dolphins team against a really tough Bentley University squad?
I'm just looking for them to give max effort on the court. That's really what you can ask for. Obviously, Bentley, one of the better teams in the country, so it's not going to be an easy matchup, but I'm expecting Coach Sarkone's players to come out here early and play hard.
All right, Nick Pavona, you've gotten a chance to take in every game this Dolphins team has played here at home this year. We saw a lot of good things in the season opening victory. They forced turnovers, got out in transition, scored on the fast break. In Game 2, they struggled with turnovers a bit more. What have you seen in the games that have gone well, and what have you seen in the games that have not gone so well?
Well, I think what we've seen well so far from this team, guys, has been the tempo from the team. They've gotten out a lot quickly in transition after getting rebounds and setting up shots towards the end. The things that have really been plaguing this team so far have been turnovers. We saw that in the game against St. Michael's. A lot of turnovers in that game, and to the Dolphins' credit, despite all the turnovers, they were able to force turnovers themselves. They were down 19 points at one point in that game. Came all the way back. We're down 2 points late with a minute left in regulation. They fell in that game by 3 points. But it goes to show you that despite what outcome this Dolphins team has, there's still some fight in them, and they are not going to give up until the very final whistle. They've got to fix the issues on terms of turning the ball over. But other than that, their offense has shown signs of great potential this season.
Well, taking a look at some of the individual standouts offensively, newcomers Raki Kane and Shanye Edmonds, both averaging double figures with 12.5 points and just over 11 points respectively. As a team this year, the Dolphins shooting around 37% from the field. That's down from opening weekend, but impacted heavily by a tough loss at East Stroudsburg just a couple of days ago over the weekend. So we've mentioned how much of this Dolphins roster new to the team this year. And many of those players have found their way into the starting lineup. The Dolphins starting 3 newcomers typically. Tonight, that changes a bit, Nick. Nicole Sarkone making a change to the starting lineup, and we'll talk a bit more about that on the other side of the national anthem when we continue our McDonald's pregame coverage. Dolphins and Falcons coming up shortly. We'll break here for the national anthem, and when we come back, tip-off from the College of Staten Island as the Dolphins host Bentley University.
We've learned a lot from him, and we've probably learned more from him than he's learned from us.
I think they're a real important part in my life. I can't describe it. It feels amazing.
Team Impact is a national nonprofit that connects kids living with serious and chronic illness with college athletic teams, forming lifelong bonds and life-changing outcomes.
If you break it, break it!
Can I have a hug? What's your favorite subject?
Math.
When you spread the word about Team Impact, you have the power to change lives.
Team Impact, we pair kids who have been sidelined by serious illness and disability with college teams from across the country.
What's up, big man? You good?
It's more than a single-day meet and greet or photo opportunity. Our program places kids on a multi-year journey, becoming true members of a collegiate athletics team.
We are Penn State.
From signing day to game day.
I can't describe it. It feels amazing.
Team Impact. All in, all together.
Joe Foreman back with you alongside Nick Durst and Nicholas Bavona ahead of tonight's game between the College of Staten Island and Bentley University. And Nick, before the break, we mentioned all the newcomers to this Dolphins squad and the changes to the starting lineup that will feature many of those newcomers tonight. Let's meet the starters.
All right, Joe. So here's the starters. We'll go with Bentley first as they're being introduced at this point. Number 3 is the senior guard, Cassidy Yeomans. Number 5 is the junior guard, and that is Kiana Armbruster. Number 10 is the senior forward, Julia Ely. Number 12 is the junior guard, Nia Morgan. And number 24 is the sophomore forward, Brennan Doran. The head coach is C. White. Now for the CSI Dolphins, who are about to be introduced on the court. Bit of a different starting lineup here. Going to be seeing some of the youth on this squad. Number 2 is the 5'5" freshman guard from New York, and that is Gemma Singer. Number 5 is the junior forward at 5'11" from New York, Reiki Kane. Number 11 is the 5'9" freshman forward from Albany, New York. That is Jazani Francis Torres. Number 13 is the 5'7" freshman guard from Staten Island, New York, and that is Juliana Ditto. And number 22 is the 5'8" junior guard from Staten Island, New York, Dorothy Reese. The head coach is Nicole Sarcone.
All right, so this starting lineup, a departure from what we've seen from this Dolphins team earlier in the season. And Nicole Sarcone clearly sending a message to her team following the game last time out against East Stroudsburg. What are you looking for from this unit, a unit that hasn't played together too much early this season? This is not a 5 that we've seen on the court together at all.
Yeah, we've seen some different sprouts from this lineup, Joe, where some of these players have gotten some minutes off of the bench, but now they get a more expanded role here tonight, getting into the starting 5. And I think after a game like that against East Stroudsburg, you lose in the fashion that they did. You're trying to get some type of a spark from this different lineup change. So I think from CSI, if they got to get out of the gate quickly, find someone to get their scoring going down early in this one. If they're able to do that, then that's going to provide a spark for the normal starters that we usually see coming off the bench and trying to hold on to the Dolphin lead potentially.
And taking a look at the other side of this matchup, Bentley comes in shooting nearly 50% from the field and over 33% from beyond the arc. They're led in scoring by Nia Morgan with just shy of 15 points per game. However, it is possible the Dolphins could exploit the Falcons on the glass. The rebounding margin for Bentley this year, a -1. They do not have a single player on the roster who is averaging more than 5 rebounds per game. So if the Dolphins...
I will point out, though, in the starting lineup this evening here that Bentley has 3 players at 6 foot or more, and Dolphins going with a different starting 5, much smaller for sure.
Hard to believe that they've been a negative on the glass given that size, but Bentley easily winning the tip-off. They will possess it first, and we are underway from the tank. Ball up top, Duran swings it to the wing. Yeomans gets rid of it. Eli back outside, bounce pass into the corner. Falcons work it around the perimeter. 8 to shoot now. Cross-court pass, Morgan for 3.
Morgan's wide open there, and she's able to easily drain the shot. As you mentioned, the leading scorer for Bentley.
And you mentioned the numbers earlier this season. That's the one player you don't want to leave open at the three-point line. Dolphins were going with that zone defense, but it bit them right there.
43% from beyond the arc for Morgan this year. Just 21 attempts, but in 3 games, that is a fairly good sample size as Kane travels.
It's an early turnover that we talked about earlier on that has been plaguing the Dolphins so far in their first 4 games of the season. And their first possession will give Bentley the ball right back.
When the Dolphins have been good, they have forced a lot of turnovers and gotten out in transition. When they've not played well, they've turned the ball over a lot and really struggled to score. Another three-pointer on the way, and it was contested well by Ditto, but not well enough.
Well, right there, Yeomans knocks down the 3. You talked about it about a minute or two ago, Joe, how prolific Bentley's been from downtown this season.
And something to note also with the new starting 5, too, as there's a turnover again forced by the Falcons, and they'll get the easy 2 right there.
That was Tayana Armbrister with the steal and the easy lay-in. Dolphins quickly in an 8-point hole.
And I think because of that, you get this new starting 5, but keep in mind, Nick Durst brought it up earlier, they're facing a nationally ranked team coming into tonight. It is not an easy test for this new starting 5.
And I think what makes it a bit more difficult is you're coming off a really tough game last time out. To try and bounce back against a team of this caliber, not an easy thing to do. Falcons again work it around the outside. Morgan had room, elected not to shoot. Yeoman's bounce pass to the corner, and Armbrister's off from 3. Morgan all alone underneath has the putback.
Nobody there but Morgan, and she's able to easily put it back. 10-0 run to start the game for Bentley.
And if I'm the Dolphins, I'm wondering if I can stay in this zone defense because it has not worked so far in this first couple minutes of the game.
Well, the Dolphins have had a lot of trouble getting into their half-court set offensively, and that's something to keep in mind as well. Singer with 9 to shoot off the spin move, throws one off the window, not close.
Nice move by Singer, just couldn't finish.
And there's a nice bounce pass, count the basket, and the foul.
12-0 here early. Bentley going to the free throw line. Guys, I think it goes without saying that in at least the years we've been working here together, this is the toughest out-of-conference schedule we've ever seen the Dolphins have to go against, and it's showing here early on this season.
Certainly in terms of the games that we've covered here at home early in the year. We've covered a lot of really good teams in just 3 days or 4 days now. Women's basketball coverage, the Conference Challenge always brings good competition, as the free throw is good. But taking a look at the schedule this year, it really leapt out to me how many non-conference games we had. Dolphins trailing by 13. Less than 3 minutes gone by here in the first quarter.
A lot of any 10 teams that the Dolphins are playing as well, which is a great conference.
Francis Torres on the drive, and she traveled.
And you see that a lot with some of these teams, guys, where they try to schedule some of these nationally ranked teams, other conference opponents. You're trying to get an early test to see how this team is going to fare against some of the best competition in the entire country, because you're trying to make it to March at the end of the day.
Floater by Armbrister, no good. Rebound was tipped into the hands of Ditto.
Yeah, not sure how the rest of the ECC is stacking up versus the non-conference, but I do still expect the Dolphins to compete in the ECC this season.
Singer looking for an entry pass, threw it away. Kane couldn't reel it in. Turnovers continue to pile up for the Dolphins, and that 3 is too strong by Morgan. Well, it's hard to ignore what I think it's fair to say right now is the elephant in the room. The Dolphins, as Kane is short on the 3, go with a completely different starting lineup, and it appears that the regulars are dressed and active. And I think the question becomes with this start, how long do they sit? Do you think it's a quarter? Do you think it's 5 minutes? Do you think it's a game?
Well, I think
it's hard to imagine that.
If this gets out of hand here, score-wise, I could see them sitting the full game.
Well, we know nothing more than the viewers, but of course, to us, it was surprising to see this lineup when we got those passed over to us here at the commentary desk. The only regular starter who is in the game is Racky Kane. Singer off the shot fake, pull-up jumper, way off. Dolphins have started this game 0 of 4 from the field, and it's hard to believe they've taken just 4 shots, but they've also turned it over 4 times.
Yeah. Yeah, that's been the problem so far. And to that question you asked earlier, I'd be curious to see what happens at the media timeout if they maybe decide to go.
I think that's when we see the regulars come in if things don't turn around. But if you're one of the 5 out there right now, you have to look at this as a great opportunity against a program that has had a lot of success, comes in ranked. We'd love to make a statement and an impression on your coaching staff here, but you said it before, Nick, a lot of size out there for Bentley, and the Dolphins have just had a tough time securing these defensive rebounds.
Earlier in the season, we've seen ditto in some short spurts. And we've obviously seen Weezy over the past 3 years, but other than that, a whole fresh new group of players out there this season outside of Kane for the starting lineup. So we don't really know what to expect. I don't remember Frances Torres playing at all in the games I've done.
I think she got in late in the opener. Did you cover that one with us?
Yes.
You did.
I know Singer
Thought
got
so.
in that
Unless
game.
it was late in the game you missed, which would have been the second home game, yeah. 2 of 2 trip to the line there for Duran.
Checking in for Bentley, number 32, Michaela Cooper.
Frances Torres has appeared in 3 of CSI's 4 games. The game she did not play in was at Goldie Beacom. 25 total minutes coming in. The lead is 15 for the Falcons. We approach the midway point of the first quarter. Weezy uses the Kane screen, floats it up, and draws a foul.
Weezy going to the free throw line here to stop the 15-0 run.
And they will rule it in the act of shooting, which is what I initially thought. Players out there.
We'll see if that mask impacts her free throw shooting at all.
Well, I know if you asked Bryce Waterman a couple of years back, he would say it definitely impacted him.
For sure.
Free throw by Weezy is good to get the Dolphins on the board.
Dolphins are on the board, so 15-0 run is done.
Weezy 2 for 2 from the stripe. Score now 15-2, just a few seconds to go, ahead of the 5-minute mark. Falcons very patient offensively, have been content to work it around the outside until a lane opens up to get it a bit closer.
It's good team basketball.
Well, they're working to break down this zone, and they did just that, but unable to finish on the layup was Cooper.
Frances Torres there on the glass.
Couple of early offensive rebounds for the Falcons, one leading to a basket, one leading to a foul, but I think it goes without saying the Dolphins can't afford to concede second chances. 10 to shoot now. This is Weezy. Weezy. Tied up and traveled. And with that, we will head to immediate timeout. 4:20 to go in the opening quarter. Dolphins trail 15-2. We are back from the tank with just over 4 minutes to go in the opening quarter. The Dolphins trail 15-2 and make it 17-2. As that pull-up jumper was good to extend the Bentley lead back to 15, but Dolphins keeping their starting five out there. And over to the scorer's table now is Shanye Edmonds. So Dolphins elect not to make a change at the timeout. Will make a change at the next stoppage. Feed inside to Francis Torres was stolen.
Never able to get our hands on it.
That last pull-up jumper was converted by Cherish Bryant. Dolphins very quickly double-team Cooper. She kicks out to Orlando. Feed inside for Norman, going to work, kicks out again. Orlando off back iron, rebounded by Kane.
Good job there by Singer to close in on that shot.
That pass gave me a little bit of a worry, guys.
I thought it was coming your way, Nick.
Yeah, I was
We've seen
getting
it
ready
this season,
I was
Joe.
getting
That
ready.
Nick has the hands. He's ready to go.
We see taken down there, couldn't control it. And the Dolphins have turned it over for the 7th time. Just over 3 minutes to go, and Edmonds has checked into the game for the Dolphins. We see over to the bench. Falcons again work it around the perimeter, looking for a lane to make that entry pass. Quick passing here, and the floater is good by Bryant.
Crisp passing so far this evening for Bentley.
Ball movement has been impressive.
Yeah, it's been certainly impressive. That last possession right there was just really good by this team, and it shows why they are ranked right now in the season.
Under 2.5 minutes to play in the opening quarter. Singer was tied up. This is Kane now. Kane calls over Francis Torres. She looks to spin off the fake. She traveled. Turnover number 8 for the Dolphins, and I think a big concern when it comes to the turnovers is that a lot of them have come in the act of trying to score. At the very least, you'd like to give yourself a chance to draw a foul, and the Dolphins just haven't done that in most cases early in this game. Orlando left open. Air ball. And it was nearly saved by Bryant, but she stepped on the baseline.
For the Dolphins, number 12, Ariana Davis.
See Davis now check in. Dolphins trying to get some type of spark on their bench before this first quarter ends.
Pressure on the inbound, and the Dolphins turn it over.
You can just see the frustration, guys. That's now 8, I believe, turnovers in just this first quarter.
Falcons nearly coughed it up off the inbound. Entry pass tipped, and keeping her footing there was Norman. She couldn't finish, however. Dolphins with the rebound.
Kane trying to avoid the foul right there. We saw in the last home game, Joe. That one she got into foul trouble. That was a big reason why the Dolphins were struggling earlier in that first half.
Dolphins turn it over again, but you're right, Nick. And there's a foul called against Davis, but when you have not only your leading scorer in foul trouble, but by the end of that game, multiple players in foul trouble, it makes things really difficult on you at both ends of the floor. Kane gives you good size, gives you some rebounding, and of course, her scoring. And the Dolphins were without that for much of their last home game and their second outing against St. Michael's College.
10 turnovers in the first quarter for the Dolphins.
First free throw by Orlando, too strong off the back rim. Well, if there's any positive whatsoever to be taken from this first quarter, the Dolphins have slowed down the Falcons' scoring since the midway point. Bentley was at 13 points with over 6 minutes to play in the quarter. think at the very least, if you're CSI, the goal has to be forcing Bentley to stop you without turning the ball over. Get shots up, give yourself a chance to draw a foul and make something happen. Kane was defended well there by Eli.
Not going to see.
Edmonds too strong, and the rebound is pulled in.
You're not going to see Kane go scoreless in a quarter too often.
Pull-up jumper may have been altered, and the Dolphins will take possession.
Yeah, I think it's what you said, Joe. You know, at the very least, you just want to get some shots up at this point because they haven't had many in this quarter. You mentioned, Nick, as well, the turnovers that they've had. That's something that's been troubling. They haven't been able to get the shots up, and they've been turning the ball over on most of their possessions.
Kick out to Davis, now Kane. Kane off the crossover. Converts, count it, and the foul.
Like I said, you're not going to see her go scoreless for a quarter too often. Now she'll go to the free throw line. The only positive so far, guys, has been that Bentley had that 15-0 run for the first 4 or 5 minutes, and since then they've only scored 5 points.
That was the Dolphins' first field goal of the game as well.
With 43 seconds left in the quarter.
Free throw missed. Remains with the Dolphins.
The Dolphins catch a break there, maybe can turn this possession into 4 or 5 points, and that would be big at this point in the game because very easily this game could have gotten extremely out of hand. And I think at the very least, the defensive effort in the latter half of the quarter was much better as Kane was blocked, and Dolphins take it right back. Edmonds waiting underneath. Converts.
Number 3, Shanae Edmonds.
Nice little back-to-back points here for the Dolphins for a run.
It's a good job by Edmonds not to go up initially after she caught the pass.
No hesitation from Yeomans, can't hit, but another offensive board goes to the Falcons with 5 seconds on the clock, and the Dolphins force another turnover.
Strong defense here by the Dolphins the last few minutes.
Well, there's no way around it. It's tough to stay close in any quarter where you commit 10 turnovers, but the Dolphins have forced 4 in the opening quarter, and they struggle to get that one in and give it right back.
11 turnovers in the first quarter.
Well, that variety can't happen.
2 on the inbound.
Yeah, I think that's the kind of turnover that, as a coach, infuriates you.
They've had a couple on the inbounds pass that have not gone their way.
Final second, and we'll see if they give the Dolphins a steal there. Joe says no, and that will do it for the end of the first quarter. Our score after 1, Bentley 20 and the College of Staten Island 6. We'll be right back with quarter number 2 from the College of Staten Island.
Falcons 20 and the CSI Dolphins.
Second quarter from the College of Staten Island just getting underway. The Dolphins in an early 14-point hole. Davis, Edmonds, Francis Torres, Kane, and Ditto out there for Staten Island. Deep 3, rolls off. Now, admittedly, we've had to cheat over on public address. Her name's not on the pronunciation guide, but I heard Juliana's name also announced Ditto tonight, which I think would make more sense, but in the previous games I heard it pronounced Ditto, and
yeah.
assumed that was correct. They have all the information over there.
I was over there last game, so I could attest to that.
We'll confirm after this quarter. Just had the thought as we were coming back. Meanwhile, Falcons still lead it by 14. Morgan left open, knocks down another three.
Well, Dolphins sticking to that zone defense, and once again, they leave Morgan wide open at the three. As I mentioned, that's the one player you don't really want to leave at the three-point arc. They've done it again.
The way this team has shot it, they're going to convert on their open looks more often than not. But Morgan, certainly not a player you want to leave open from downtown, as Kane nearly converted through the contact there, but we'll head back to the line.
Maya Mickey checking in for the first time, and Gemma Singer coming back in as well.
Two shots here for Kane. The first one way off. While we have a break in the action, you may have noticed the Dolphins wearing yellow laces tonight. It is Go for the Goal night here at the College of Staten Island. Go for the Goal helps kids with cancer achieve their goals. We'll tell you a bit more about them shortly. Falcons again methodically work it around the perimeter. Morgan had some room there, doesn't pull it that time. Dolphins doing a good job rotating on this possession. Nothing coming easily for Bentley. Pass to the corner. 3-2 strong.
I was right that time.
You were very ready, Nick.
I didn't know how much emphasis on that.
I had to hold my breath. I saw it coming. It was Yeomans off on that three, and that basket is good. Count it, and the foul. Julia Eli converts, and we'll head to the line for one more.
Julia Eli, foul number 5, Rocky Kane. That'll be her second, and the Dolphins' second of the second quarter. At the line for Bentley, number 10, Julia Eli.
See the up and under.
Somebody
right
has
there.
to give Anthony the pronunciation guide because Julia's name is on there, and it is Eli.
Checking in for Bentley,
Ellie.
number 4.
To be fair, if I did not have the pronunciation guide, I think
Yeah.
that's what I would have went with as well. I hate having to guess. But you know what I hate more than having to guess?
Spotty internet?
I do hate that more.
Having to go with the flow in life.
Well, let's not talk about that. It's having to reach out and ask, which I will not do. This is Edmonds on the drive. Finger roll is good.
Great move there. Go off the top of the arc to down low.
Well, you love to see that if you're the Dolphins. Quick, easy two, an aggressive move by Edmonds. And
Well, we've seen all season, Edmonds is very explosive with the speed to get to the basket, runs the court extremely well.
just over 7.5 to go in the quarter. Morgan looks up at the shot clock, 5 to shoot. Falcons have to go up here, and that's an air ball.
Not sure if she even got it off anyway, but does not matter.
The Dolphins defensively, since the midway point of that first quarter, have done some good things. They've forced 5 Falcon turnovers thus far. CSI has not yet turned it over here in the second. So we all know what happens when the commentator jinxes things. Wow. I wasted no time. That is incredible.
Yeah.
Credit to the Falcons defensively, and there's another. But
I think Singer's having some troubles with the inbounds because Bentley, smartly so, is putting a much bigger body on her, and she's having all sorts of issues getting it over the taller player.
I'm curious to see if they gave another turnover there. Did the Falcons possess that last one in bounds?
It
Not
should've.
sure.
It
You
should have
think
because
so?
of the shot clock, yeah.
Dolphins nearly coughed it up there. Looked like McKee wanted to shoot it, but ditto will, and that's way too strong. Falcons look to run. Morgan on the pull-up, knocks it down. The lead is 21 for the Falcons. Edmonds is fouled, and that's exactly what I was referring to before. If you're the Dolphins, give yourselves a chance to get to the line, get a shot up. Make sure possessions don't end without any shot attempt at all.
If you want to get back in this game, that's exactly what you need to do.
Something that we saw against St. Michael's too. Dolphins free throw shooting. They did hurt them in that game, and right on cue they missed another one.
And I mentioned it before, the Dolphins are wearing gold laces tonight, and CSI Women's Basketball is proud to support the Go For The Goal Foundation. That is the number 4, Go For The Goal. And their Lace Up for Pediatric Cancer Initiative. Since 2011, the program has been making a difference in the lives of children battling cancer by providing financial assistance, granting wishes, funding critical research, and developing unique hospital programs. By wearing gold laces, the Dolphins are raising awareness and showing their commitment to making a difference for these brave kids and their families. We invite our viewers to learn more about Go For The Goal. Once again, that's Go For The number and The Goal. And how you too can help make an impact. Together, we can bring hope, support, and resources to children fighting cancer. We thank all of our viewers for their support and invite them to enjoy the rest of tonight's game on Go For The Goal night. Meanwhile, the Dolphins forced a turnover, and Edmonds knocks down the jumper.
Edmonds got the ball, turns around, nobody's there, puts it up, and drains the shot.
The Dolphins not going away completely, and they very easily could have after trailing by double digits almost immediately in this game. There's a nice entry and a block by McKee. That shot was altered on the way up, got a piece of it.
Great block by McKee there.
Duran thought she had a clear look at the basket as Weesey secures that one, and Edmonds was fouled.
Edmonds has been very impressive earlier this season, guys. Huge addition to this roster.
And for the first time tonight, Dana Phelan will check in. We mentioned the Dolphins not starting their regular 5 tonight. Of the regulars, Kane got the start. And getting into the game now, Edmonds and Phelan. We've yet to see Stitchy Barnes or Kyra Rose. Singer off the crossover, does not get the roll, and McKee's putback won't go. Singer fighting for the rebound, and jump ball is the call. Possession arrow favors the Falcons. Just over 5 minutes to go in the second quarter. The lead for Bentley, 18 points. And that kick out nearly got away. Falcons track it down, ball in the hands of Orlando. Her pass tipped, and we'll stay right here.
11 to go on the shot clock, 2 seconds before the next media timeout.
And again, the inbound ends up all the way in the backcourt. You can throw it there off the inbound pass. It was not touched in the front court. And there's a lefty runner nearly banked in by Cooper. And the pull-up by Armbruster won't go off yet another Falcons offensive board.
Good defense by the Dolphins.
The Dolphins defensively have been a bit better, as I mentioned, since the early going in that first quarter.
Yeah, the Falcons start getting a little bit cold now from the line. They haven't made their last couple shots.
Edmonds off on that jumper, and Cooper finally brings in the rebound. Well, the Dolphins have had some chances from the free throw line in this game. They're just 3 of 7. Falcons are 4 of 6. Still shooting 44% from the field ahead of that last miss.
first and Bentley's fourth of the second quarter. This will be a immediate
And with that, we head to immediate timeout.
timeout.
4:19 to go in the first half. Dolphins trail 29-11.
Nia Morgan. Check
4:19 to go in the second quarter. The Dolphins trail 29-11. Francis Torres, Singer, Phelan, Weesey, and Edmonds in there for CSI. Falcons continuing to pressure a bit. Dolphins do get it across the timeline. Phelan over to Singer. Right back to Phelan. Phelan, step back three is good. Dana Phelan from downtown.
Dana making an instant impact offensively. Knocks down her three. And with that shot, things are looking a lot better now for the Dolphins in the deficit department. If they could get this down, guys, to 12-point range, 10-point game going into the half, they might have a shot.
I think if you're the Dolphins and you can get out of this within 15, which is where you are right now, given how it started, you'd probably take that. If you can get it closer to 10, maybe even single digits, you'd be thrilled.
Well, Edmonds has been tremendous for them offensively since she checked in the game.
And that's exactly what you don't want to do if you're the Falcons, is they commit their 15th foul, and that will send the Dolphins to the line. And I think if we came in with the foreknowledge that the Dolphins would turn the ball over 11 times in the first quarter, we would have assumed that Bentley could have put them away at this point in the game. But the Dolphins, to their credit, have forced 9 turnovers. As that free throw is no good. They're just 3 of 8 from the line. That has to improve as well. You know, if this game is 5 points closer, you're within 10. And it's an 0 of 2 trip to the line, followed by an offensive rebound and nearly a turnover.
Checking in for Bentley, number 10, Julie Ellie.
Eli back in for the Falcons here. Just over 3 minutes to go in the half, 15 to shoot for the Dolphins. Singer spins, kicks out. Weesey had it poked away. And there's another Dolphins turnover, number 14.
Good defense by Bentley there.
Dolphins just can't afford to turn it over. .15 to shoot. And throughout this game, the Falcons have been more than willing to use the shot clock. As that three is good, Morgan knocks down another.
Wide open there. Of course, she takes the shot, and she makes it.
But to the point about the shot clock, when you have a team that's using as much of the clock as Bentley has, you can't afford to fall behind by 15 or 20 for very long. As the fast break layup was missed, but Eli
Just
there
like
to clean it
that,
up.
20-point game again.
Yeah. They had a chance to make it a 13-point game at the line and couldn't do it.
Just felt like in the blink of an eye. Dolphins creeping back into this game, and now they're back down 20 points again.
Edmonds. Finger roll, and that is good. She's been impressive tonight.
9 points for her this evening.
It's been a big spark for CSI off the bench.
She did not start this game, has played officially now 11 minutes, and she has more than half of the Dolphins' points. As that hook shot won't go, Dolphins look to push. Phelan off the crossover. Double teamed. And a jump ball is called. We'll stay at this end.
For the Dolphins.
And we saw in the conference challenge what Edmonds' potential can be. We saw the first game of the season scoring 20 points in that game to send the Dolphins to their first win of the season. So we know that she is capable of scoring at will.
Dolphins with 21 to shoot. We see the inbounder from the baseline. High risk pass there. Francis Torres right back to Weesey. And her jumper is off the back rim. And it sends the Falcons in transition. Morgan, bounce pass. And Eli can't finish. But the Dolphins turn it over again and commit a foul.
16 turnovers now.
Well, the Dolphins had played a relatively clean second quarter, had just 2 turnovers a minute or so ago, and since then they've committed 3 more.
Francis Torres, that'll be her second. The Dolphins' third of the second quarter.
And the officials will talk this one over quickly. Yeah, I think they were trying to figure out whether or not there was a change of possession in there, yeah. Whether it should be 20 or 30, they go with 20. $12 to shoot now. That is a 2-pointer that rolls off for Morgan. And the Falcons couldn't secure it. Dolphins ball.
Checking in for Bentley, number 2, Ava Orlando.
Now we're at that point where you mentioned earlier, Joe, if the Dolphins can get it to within 15 before the half, that would help them right now. Down 18 with 55.2 to go.
I think if you're the Dolphins here, you're looking at a potential 2-for-1, try and get a basket, one more stop, and then one more basket. That would be ideal if you're CSI. They'll need to hurry now. 15 to shoot. Edmonds on the pull-up is short. But that's a good look. You'll take that. They do get the 2-for-1 opportunity, even with that miss. Orlando from the corner, in and out. Francis Torres with the rebound. Long outlet, Phelan. Dolphins don't have to rush it, but Phelan gets by and had it poked away.
Definitely want to score here for the Dolphins. Going to mean a big difference if they make a basket here or not.
Like I said, if you looked at the numbers for CSI only in this first half, you'd probably assume the deficit was greater as Phelan's way off from 3. Edmonds has the rebound. She has time, and she has 2 points.
Nice follow-up there by Edmonds. A good defense there.
Edmonds denies the last-second opportunity with that steal. The heave will not count, and we have reached halftime. Our score at the break, Bentley 34, Staten Island 18. When we come back, the third quarter from the tank, it's a 16-point lead for Bentley over Staten Island.
34 and the CSI Dolphins 18.
No, I'm right. The podcast that uncovers the origin stories of some of the biggest names in sports, media, and entertainment. Nick Durst here along with Joe Calabrese.
Here we are, 200 episodes later, about 150 episodes with guests, our friends, soon to be your friends.
Well, it's pretty clear, Joe, that it's all about You Know I'm Right, the podcast. That's my You Know I'm Right moment. Wanted to do a podcast, and everyone was like, what are you, crazy? Who's going to listen? You're not going to get guests. Well, guess what? I'm the best when it comes to getting guests. You could vouch for that.
I am so happy that you asked me to do this. I couldn't have been more thrilled. And follow us on socials, check us out. I promise you, if you want to work in media, whether you work in media now, whether you want to quit your job and work in media, come to us, and I promise you, we will get you on the right foot.
That's what it's all about, uncovering the origin stories of some of the biggest names in sports, media, and entertainment. Keep it locked on You Know I'm Right.
Hobra, a taco joint, Staten Island, where we're proud to have shared our family-first spirit with people from throughout New York City and the world. With indoor dining available both at the bar and on the floor. Or step outside for additional seating and an outdoor bar. Serving beer that's crisp, ice cold, and worthy of a day at the beach. Cocktails that explode with flavor. And great food made with the freshest and healthiest ingredients available. Events feature food and drink specials, live music, and the best of Staten Island nightlife. Your CSI Student ID saves you 10% on your dining order at Hobra. Visit us at 412 Forest Avenue, Staten Island.
The NCAA sponsors 90 national championships each year, none of which could happen without officials. There is an urgent need for sports officials across the country, as they are retiring 4 times faster than they are coming in, leaving shortages at all levels of sport. The NCAA recognizes the importance of officiating on the student-athlete experience and is dedicated to the recruitment and retention of new officials for all sports. There are many great reasons to become an official. Stay in shape and get paid to do so. Meet new people and build relationships within a tight-knit community. Give back to the sport you love by creating a fair atmosphere and upholding the integrity of the game. Say yes to officiating. Visit ncaa.org/say yes to officiating for more information on how to get started.
If you want to win in every arena of college life, go D2. Make it yours.
That's a timeout on betting. It completely changed the game, and you didn't even notice. Let me break it down for you. Betting ads are applying full court pressure and getting you to play the game. Many of you are falling for it and losing big money. Addiction is happening in some more than others. Now players are getting harassed by bettors. And we all know that's not how the game is won. So it's on us to be good teammates and draw the line to stay ahead of betting consequences.
NCAA athletes don't just compete, they make history. Representing our nation with pride and excellence, they bring home the hardware. Our college campuses serve as training grounds for the next generation of stars. Catch tomorrow's Olympians and Paralympians on the NCAA Championship stage today.
Sports fans, we cheer on our favorite teams at fields, gyms, arenas, and stadiums. But have you ever wondered what it's like to be a referee? Verbal abuse from fans, parents, and coaches is the #1 reason why many referees are walking away. And they're not being replaced quickly enough by new ones. So put yourself in the official shoes, act with respect, and be officially human.
Campuses nationwide, the NCAA is making transformative changes for student athletes. While they pursue their biggest dreams, we're launching new initiatives to help them. Life-changing education opportunities are just the start. The NCAA is providing enhanced mental health services. We're guaranteeing scholarships and tuition and expanding access to healthcare. Visit ncaa.org/change to learn more.
No, I'm right. The podcast that uncovers the origin stories of some of the biggest names in sports, media, and entertainment. Nick Durst here along with Joe Calabrese.
Here we are, 200 episodes later, got 150 episodes with guests, our friends, soon to be your friends.
Well, it's pretty clear, Joe, that it's all about You Know I'm Right, the podcast. That's my You Know I'm Right moment. Wanted to do a podcast, and everyone was like, what are you, crazy? Who's going to listen? You're not going to get guests. Well, guess what? I'm the best when it comes to getting guests. You could vouch for that.
I am so happy that you asked me to do this. I couldn't have been more thrilled. And follow us on socials, check us out. I promise you, if you want to work in media, whether you work in media now, whether you want to quit your job and work in media, come to us, and I promise you, we will get you on the right foot.
That's what it's all about, uncovering the origin stories of some of the biggest names in sports, media, and entertainment. Keep it locked on You Know I'm Right.
And we are back from the tank for the start of the second half. Dolphins trail 34-18. CSI making big changes to their starting lineup coming into this game as they commit an early foul to begin the third quarter. But 4 of the 5 regular starters back out there. Racky Kane begins the second half on the bench. And getting the second half start in her place was starter in this game, Juliana Ditta. At the line here, Brennan Duran. And her first free throw rattles in, but Nick, the Dolphins, of course, getting off to the slow start tonight. Played a bit better at about, I'd say, beyond the midway point of that first quarter. At the very least, played even from that point forward. What did they do well in that first half as they concede an offensive rebound off the free throw miss? And what needs to change here in the second half as that three-pointer goes in for Yeomans?
Well, Edmonds did a great job in that first half, kind of steadying the ship there. What they need to do better in the second half is twofold. Number one, stop turning the ball over. And number two, make their free throws.
The deficit now 20 points. Phelan uses the Edmonds screen, and I think that's going to be an offensive foul. No question about that one.
Yeah, it's certainly no question right there. And you mentioned it, Nick. They have to figure out a way to stop turning the ball over. They got a little bit better in the second quarter, but towards the end of that quarter, they went back to what we saw in the first quarter, where they had a turnover, bunches, and a few just minutes. And they have to avoid that if they want to have any chance of coming back in this game.
Just a minute gone by here in the third. Deficit 20 points and make it 22. As Eli gets the bounce. First game action of the night for Stitchy Barnes. Feeding Weesey, and Weesey bobbled.
Not only a turnover, but a foul called.
2 turnovers already in this half. 3 fouls, too.
Well, I misspoke. I said 4 of the 5 Dolphins regular starters begin the second half. It was 3. Kyra Rose remains on the bench. Dorothy Weesey, who also started tonight, gets the second half start. And I made the point in the second quarter, the Falcons have been so methodical, moving the ball, taking a lot of the shot clock with them each possession. Pretty much without exception, they've gotten good shots, but when your deficit is now 20-plus points against the team taking that much time, it's really tough. You're going to have to work quickly, and that's a good start.
Barnes right there, wide open at the basket.
Kane to the scorer's table for Staten Island with just under 8 minutes to play in the quarter. Armbruster left wide open, too strong. Easy rebound for Eli, and Dolphins force a turnover. Watch out, Nick.
Oh, Nick was ready for that one.
He was going for the Odell Beckham right there, one hand up.
Brings back some good and sometimes bad memories when you bring up an old Giants player.
Edmonds knocks it down.
Really impressed with Edmonds tonight, guys. Coming off the bench, carrying the team offensively. She has half the team's points.
Kick out to the wing. Morgan thought about it. Yeomans didn't think much, puts it up, no good. Offensive rebound and a missed putback, but a tip in by Armbruster goes down. Well, the offensive glass has been a big part of Bentley building this lead. That last offensive rebound, I believe, was their 12th. Perhaps even as many as their 13th, because they've not put in that sequence yet. Once they get that in, we can confirm that number, but either way, it's been a nightmare on the glass for the Dolphins in this game. And you thought coming in maybe they could find a matchup to succeed in that area, but they've been out-rebounded 25-19. The difference is solely offensive rebounding, 12-4.
Yeah, an extreme height difference as well on that glass. The glass this evening with the starters that the Dolphins put out there.
10 to shoot for CSI. Edmonds, toe on the line, a bit short. And the rebound's pulled in by Morgan. Yeomans flips it into the corner. Morgan back up top for Armbrister. 8 to shoot now. Yeomans drives the baseline. Bounce pass, cross court. 3 to shoot. Step back jumper. Way short. And another offensive rebound goes to Eli.
That one just grazing the front of the rim, avoiding that shot clock violation.
10 to shoot now. Morgan cross court. Yeomans for Armbrister. Working in traffic, and she traveled.
Travel on Bentley. It's CSI basketball.
Good defense right there by the Dolphins.
Yeah, 20-point game now. So, see if the Dolphins are able to make a run here to close out the third quarter.
With the way the half ended, you were hoping the Dolphins could continue the trajectory of chipping away. At a time late in that second quarter, they were. They had a chance to pull it to within 13 from the line, missed a couple of free throws, and from there, things started moving in the other direction. That's continued here in the third as Barnes knocks down a tough fall-away shot.
Nice look there from Barnes on the fall-away.
Cross-court pass once again. Now the entry inside. Duran goes to work and kicks out. Morgan feeds it again to Duran for the easy 2.
That's just great awareness right there by Morgan, finding her right underneath the rim. And we mentioned it earlier, it's been good ball movement today by the Falcons in this game.
Phelan. As Edmonds went down, she got hit on what looked to be an attempted screen.
This will be a media timeout.
And a well-timed media timeout for Edmonds and the Dolphins. Our score with 4:35 to go in the third quarter. Bentley 44 and Staten Island 24.
Number 21, Ciara Norman.
.435 to go, third quarter. Dolphins trail by 20. Phelan for Edmonds along the baseline with 8 to shoot. High pass reeled in by Kane. She crosses over, gets inside, and banks it in.
Great play call execution there off the media timeout. 18-point game now.
That was not an easy basket right there by Kane. Just got it before the buzzer sounded.
I think you're in a situation now where if you're the Dolphins, it's now or never to make a run, and that won't help as Morgan knocks down another 3.
Morgan was so wide open. She could have waited 5 seconds and still nobody would have gotten to her.
Morgan now with 16 points. That is her 4th three-pointer.
Maya Morgan, the leading scorer for Bentley this season.
So I think they got that one in just ahead of me looking down. So 13 for Morgan, 3 of 5 from downtown. Edmonds with 4 to shoot. Kicks out. Ditto. Does not get the bounce.
You were right, Joe. Morgan, 16 points.
All right. Very good. Very good. So it was a bit late. The score updated immediately. The box did not. And, you know, you can even tell, and you're a Knicks fan, Nick, it even happens to the great Mike Breen, where the box score betrays him a bit.
Well, I think that probably was a sequence of who they were trying to figure out who got the assist on that play, so maybe that's why it didn't come in initially.
Well, no, the score was up immediately.
Right, but I think
but the assist has to be populated before the basket.
Yeah.
Makes sense. Got it. Mike Breen's signature call is bang. I think we've coined splash. Now, I have to ask, in the games that I've missed, have you ever used the splash call?
I haven't.
As Kane hits the fadeaway.
I don't think I have either.
Shame on you. When you were absent, Nick, on opening weekend on Sunday, we dropped a good as gold. Oh, no, it wasn't Sunday. It couldn't have been. It had to be a men's game that you missed. But didn't you cover both?
I've been to every men's game.
Yeah, he's been there.
I thought maybe I prompted you
You dropped
to
the
say
good
it
as
then.
gold in a women's game?
No, I didn't.
Good as gold for Goldie Beacom?
Maybe I think I prompted you to say it. As the Dolphins have an easy 2. Racky Kane with the lane off the long outlet. 2.5 to go, third quarter. Timeout Falcons. Their lead is 17 points. Our score, Bentley 47 and Staten Island 30. Final 2.5 minutes here in the third quarter of a 17-point game. Bentley University over the College of Staten Island, 47-30. Dolphins chipped away a bit late in the first half, but the Falcons regained control quickly, went ahead by 20. The lead now is 17. The Dolphins with 4 straight points here, hoping to keep that run going.
And mentioned it earlier, they've showed fight in that game against St. Michael's. We saw last week, and they've shown good fight in this game, not giving up. Down 17 with 2 minutes and change to go in the third.
Falcons once again work it around the perimeter. They've spent a lot of time out there, and that ball movement of theirs has yielded open shots as Orlando can't hit that one, but another offensive rebound goes to Bentley. That's been a killer for the Dolphins tonight. The free throw shooting and Falcons all over the offensive glass. Entry pass inside. Eli can't finish. Barnes has the board. These next 100
Did
seconds
you
are
get the
big.
clarification on Juliana's last name?
I did not. That is on me.
Well, Juliana playing some major minutes this evening.
Barnes too strong on the jumper.
I'd venture to say her career high in minutes, 24 minutes already.
She got the start and has been in there for most of this game.
She's played the most minutes of all players on both sides.
Another entry pass into a double team. Cooper open, and that's too easy.
See Cooper do that twice now.
Well, you're in a position where Eli has the significant size advantage at 6'2". You have to double, and from there it's only one pass into a wide open jumper for Michaela Cooper. Kane buries it.
Number 5, Racky Kane.
Long pass up the floor, knocked down on the entry attempt. Dolphins have virtually been even in this game since the midway point of the first quarter. It was 20-4 late in the first. And before that last basket, Dolphins were only a -1 from that point forward.
We've been seeing them getting some good baskets these last couple of minutes, but the problem is they have not been able to stop the Falcons from scoring.
As I mentioned before, with a team that takes so much time offensively and is so methodical with it, I think you're in a position where even if you're trailing by only 15 in the third quarter, it's a lot worse than that in reality, because Falcons are more than willing to take the full shot clock with them, and not only have they done that, they've gotten good open looks when they've taken those long possessions.
Great ball movement has led to a lot of their scoring.
Barnes on the drive. Count it. And one.
She'll go to the free throw line now. She's done some good things. 6 points here in this quarter. She did not play the first half.
You see a nice little give and go right off of that inbound pass, and Barnes going to the lane, getting the and one. Look to make the free throw right here.
I think if there's something that's really stood out for the Dolphins tonight is Barnes has hit the free throw. Something that stood out at the offensive end, they have players that are really good when they get going downhill, as that heave won't go. And the third quarter is over with the Dolphins trailing 51-35. But as I was saying, we've seen some good things from the Dolphins offensively in this game. Chief among them, CSI is shooting 47%, yet they trail by 16. We'll see if they have one big run in them when we come back. Our score through 30 minutes, Bentley 51, Staten Island 35. Fourth quarter just getting underway from the tank. The Dolphins trail 51-35. Barnes with it on the outside. Now Phelan. That pair joined by Kane, Edmonds, and Weesey. Weesey with it on the drive. Throws up a tough shot. Can't get it to go. And the rebound is secured by Morgan. She's off to the races. Edmonds there. Alters the shot. Armbrister had it for a moment. And she secures the offensive board.
Another second chance opportunity right here for the Falcons.
You have to love the effort by Edmonds to get back, alter that shot. And a battle for the offensive board ends in another Falcons offensive rebound. That jumper too strong, rebounded by Kane. Barnes directing traffic. Edmonds now, right back to Barnes. Weesey for Kane. Kane crosses over, kicks out, and threw it away. Yeomans read that perfectly. Morgan feeds Armbrister, count it, and the foul.
Just perfect passing.
Yeah, now to the free throw line here. And this is what Bentley wanted to do here, run the floor off turnovers, and they've done it pretty efficiently here this evening.
Free throw no good off back iron. Edmonds gets in there and takes the rebound away. Weesey was left open. Cross-court pass for Phelan. And her three rattles out. Barnes will pick up the personal here.
Foul number 1, Stitchy Barnes.
Probably a good foul to stop the break.
The Dolphins' second of the fourth quarter.
Dolphins would have loved to have had that three-point shot go in after giving up that and one. Thankfully, the free throw didn't go in for them, but you mentioned it. Dolphins have been shooting a lot better than what it seems like on the scoreboard, but the turnovers and second chance points have really hurt them in this game.
Falcons again work it inside. Morgan on the wing, back up top. Bentley will reset. Their offense has just been so crisp and efficient as Morgan misses. Here comes Barnes on the break. Barnes right at Morgan, can't finish.
Tough break there, if not be able to finish that.
The defensive stop by Morgan, forcing a very contested shot against Barnes.
Cooper in and out. Just under 8 minutes to go. The deficit is 18. Phelan over to Barnes. Right back to Phelan, and it was tipped away. It will stay Dolphins ball.
It's getting to the point where it feels like the Dolphins need to get it to within, I would think, 12 to go before that immediate timeout.
Yeah, Nick, I think
that might not be enough.
With how methodical the Falcons have been, the Dolphins are going to have to execute more quickly on offense and hope for really uninterrupted stops the rest of the way to have a shot. And Barnes is whistled for the travel.
Well, Dolphins only made three in this game. Bentley 6. And the Dolphins are at their best when they're making three-pointers.
Well, Nick, to your point, the Dolphins have struggled from three all year. And a lot of their points have come inside the arc. And I think they're going to have to be a bit better from downtown moving forward.
Yeah, outside of Dana, though, not sure who their other three-point shooter would be.
Well, that's the big question mark. I mean, the team is shooting 14% from three this year. That's about 1 out of 7.
It's probably what they're shooting this game.
Good
Exactly.
block right there by
1 for 7.
Yeah, it's tough because when you're facing these teams, they're going to be looking at the scouting report and knowing that the Dolphins, with them struggling at the three-point line and realistically maybe only having one three-point shooter, they're going to probably at points play that zone defense to where you play Dana up and you force two defenders on her and try to pass the ball around.
And that jumper is good. It's a two-pointer. But speaking of the three-point shooting, Phelan this year has attempted 30 of the Dolphins' 66 threes. She's just 5 of 30. So the rest of the team on 36 shot attempts has hit 4. That's 1 out of 9.
That's rough.
It's just not going to be sustainable if you're going to shoot to win games. That being said, on the other side of the coin, the Dolphins in transition have executed well, and they have players that have been really impressive attacking the basket. I think you need to find that balance between scoring inside and the three-point shooting. That being said, they have a lot of players who can knock down the mid-range jumper. They've taken a lot of those too. It hasn't just been layups. As Kane draws contact and will head to the line.
Yeah, we've seen Edmonds in this game, Barnes in this game, Kane as well in this game have hit those mid-range jumpers that you mentioned before.
Checking in for Bentley, number 12, Nia Morgan. Foul, number 24, Brennan Duran. Her first and Bentley's first of the fourth quarter.
So Kane heads to the line in a 16-point game with 6 minutes to go. And there's another miss from the free throw line. It has been a really bad night from the stripe for the Dolphins.
4 of 11 so far.
Second is good. On the season, the Dolphins came in shooting 61% from the line. Now 5 of 12 tonight.
You could argue that they could have gone back in that game against St. Michael's had they made their free throws in that game.
Certainly could. There's a bad entry pass. One of very few tonight for the Falcons. Dolphins, since the first quarter, have turned it over just 9 times. They've cleaned that up in a big way, and I think that's a big reason why they've played now to a +1 since the closing minutes of that opening period. This is Barnes driving baseline, gets inside, counted, and the foul.
Well, look now, Nick. You said get it to around 12. 13-point game right now. Free throw coming. And you're still not at that media timeout mark.
Well, they haven't been able to get the three-point shot going, but they get it 3 points in a different style as they get the N1 right there. Can Barnes knock down the free throw?
Well, I said it before, the Falcons have been very methodical offensively. If the Dolphins were going to get back in this, they'd have to execute quickly, and that time they did. Barnes got it, immediately attacked, aggressively drove the baseline, and finished through the contact. Another example of these Dolphins who have been so impressive getting to the rim. Armbrister in the corner. They're looking for the entry pass.
The defense by Mickey to not allow that to happen.
Morgan off the mark. Rebound ditto. And the Dolphins have a chance to make this a 10-point game, maybe even single digits. That's a 2, way off. Well, they look to execute quickly again, and Barnes may have rushed that shot. An easy 2 at the other end for Armbrister makes it a 14-point deficit.
Big momentum shifter there, the best shot and the easy layup.
Well, if that goes down, it's a single-digit lead, and all of a sudden, this game is well within reach. Phelan thought about the 3. Now Ditto in the corner. Uses the Kane screen. Her 3 on the way, a bit short. And to your point from before, Nick, when they've needed the outside shot in this game, they just haven't been able to find it. Those last 2 were good looks. Pick ball called against the Dolphins. And that will send us to immediate timeout with 4:13 to go. Closing minutes, fourth quarter. Bentley leads CSI 55-41. .413 to go in the fourth quarter. Falcons lead the Dolphins 55-41. CSI trailed big early in this game, and that deficit effectively hasn't grown by more than a few points since. That being said, the Dolphins have not been able to battle back to within single digits, and time is very quickly running out.
The way Bentley's been methodically passing tonight, they're going to take as much time as they can with the remaining 4 minutes in this game.
And I think that's what made this comeback so difficult, Nick. The Dolphins have played much better since the later stages of the first quarter, but with how methodical the Falcons have been and with the great size they have, as we saw there, it's been really tough for the Dolphins to get any closer than where they were now nearly 30 minutes ago.
Yeah, no answer there for the 6'2" Doran.
Phelan swings it. Entry pass, McKee. And her shot won't go from in close. Under 3.5 to go now in a 16-point game. And there's a foul called along the baseline. Armbrister will head to the line for 2 shots. Now looking ahead for women's basketball, they will be back here at home on Saturday against Southern Connecticut State University. They then will face Mercy University on Wednesday, December 3rd. After that, we don't see the Dolphins again here at home for 2 weeks. However, I will see them on the road as I cover them audio only at UDC.
That's the way to watch it these days.
Well, you can't watch. You can listen.
Watch the audio. You can watch it on YouTube.
We have to make that clear.
You can watch the static image and
yes,
listen.
You can. I can assure you it will be lag-free. I had to re-up my hotspot today, so we'll be all good. 3 minutes to go, 18-point game. And speaking of conference basketball, I mentioned the Mavericks are in here next week. The Mavericks knocked off this Falcons team, so you know that's going to be a tough test in a rematch of last year's ECC semifinal game. That was a thriller, as Norman is able to put that one up and in with the left.
Mavericks certainly looking for revenge in that semifinal game. As you mentioned, a thrilling matchup.
I didn't cover that game, but I was in attendance, sitting at the media table, and I have to say, I've been covering CSI Athletics for a long time. Without a doubt, that is a top 10 game, probably top 5.
And who could forget the big three-pointer by Dana Phelan at the end, which should not win the Finney for Sports Play of the Year across athletics.
Taking a look at our basketball historically in terms of the top games I've ever covered, I would say that game, or at least attended, that game was up there for sure. Men's basketball at Cabrini many years ago in the NCAA tournament was up there, as that shot won't go.
What was that, 2018?
I believe so. I had not yet been full-time, so I think it was 2018. As that shot won't go for Armbrister, Phelan able to keep it in and get it up to Barnes. Any games I'm forgetting, crew?
Well, there is a game, but
I didn't cover the end.
You were missing the end. Kaya Johnson had a game winner.
I remember.
Was Nick over here with me, or I was solo for that?
You might have been solo.
I think you had. I think you may have had Tyler Engineering.
Okay.
I think you did. I remember men's basketball head coach Nick Duran's first career win. That was a thriller.
Fans, this will be last call for the snack stand. Once again, this is the
last call with 2 minutes left, guys. The snack stand.
Wow, it's still open. I'm surprised.
Wow. It is a bit of an earlier start in this game. We don't typically have 5 p.m. singles.
On a Tuesday as well.
Do we have that again all season is the question. I'm not sure we do.
I don't think so.
Saturday is a single as well. 1 o'clock. And then it's up to Boston for me. I'll arrive here in the rental car, and then it's a long drive as Phelan rebounds that air ball and can't finish the reverse.
Where are you getting the rental car? You're coming from?
I'm coming from Keyport.
Okay.
So right near me. I'm walking to the rental car agency.
I'm trying to think of games now that you mentioned before. We had the AIC game with Armas hitting that late.
That was Durant's first win.
Right. And we had last year that baseball game, I believe it was against Mercy, if I'm not mistaken, where it was pretty much a home run derby. I think it was 18-14.
That was a great game as well.
18-16 was the final in that game.
I think another great game was Tracy Garofalo's 300th win.
Yes.
And we'd be remiss if we didn't mention that Tracy has departed the program, taking a position elsewhere, so congratulations to her on that. I don't know if they announced it officially yet, so I won't say where, but
it was announced officially on social media.
Okay, so we could say that we wish Tracy all the best back at her alma mater, Post-University.
I'm hearing Coach Cowles might be added to the softball coaching staff in the spring.
Well, I want to know where you heard that from, because I want to get their head checked.
He might be hitting coach first. They need a first base coach because Cassidy's gone as well.
Van driving does not give you the qualifications to coach. Three-pointer on the way, and that one is good. And Kiernan into the game, knocks down a 3 right away.
Joe is highly well regarded. His sports
he very much
by
was.
all
He was.
by all coaches at CSI, not just
all right, well, let's not get carried away. I thought you were going to say all of the softball coaches. I can attest
certainly
to that.
the softball coaches.
Yeah, but
from what I've heard from the horse's
coaches.
mouth, all the coaches highly respect him and his opinions.
I'm going to put TJ on the spot next halftime and ask him. So, We've heard rumors that Coach Cal's opinions are highly regarded by all of the coaches here at CSI. Can you give us a yay or nay on that?
Who?
For yourself.
What?
They might give you a no comment.
Who is right? Who is right? We're going to say Coach Cal. He's going to have no clue who that is. Tough runner by Barnes. Doesn't get the roll. Kiernan with the rebound. And the Falcons can dribble this one out. Well, we said it before. The Dolphins trailed by about, I think it was 16 with a minute or two to go in the first. It was 20-4. For much of the game, the Dolphins had been either a net positive of a point or two or hardly a net negative. They'll go on to lose this game by 23, but were it not for the lackluster start, you never know what could have been on this night. As the final buzzer sounds and the Dolphins will fall to 2-3, the Falcons improve to 3-1. Our final score, Bentley University 64 and Staten Island 41. Nick, we'll start with you to my right. Final thoughts?
Well, I said the main thing you were going to look for in this game for CSI was the effort, and the effort was there from the players who started the game. And it was a rough start, but they couldn't overcome it. Played some decently towards the end. But that's going to do it for us as a trio, the end of an area.
Well, I wasn't going to mention it, but since you did, moving forward, we are going to be a two-man operation. So, Nick Bavona, I'll leave the final word of the broadcast with you. You and I will be back over the weekend and for the doubleheader against Mercy next Wednesday. You've covered the Dolphins now in each of their home games so far this year. This one, number 3. What are your final takeaways from this loss, and what do you think may have been different if the Dolphins had started just a bit better?
I think it's coming down to the turnovers. We mentioned it earlier in the pregame. That really plagued them in that first quarter. If not for the big amount of turnovers they had in the first quarter, you could make the case this is a very close game throughout the entirety of that one. But because of how many bad turnovers they had to start the game, they were in double digits in that one quarter alone. They got better as the game progressed, but they've got to fix that these next couple of weeks. Of course, the free throw shooting has to be fixed as well. That's been a problem for them. So we'll see what happens over these next couple of days. They obviously go into the Thanksgiving holiday, so it'll be a nice time to regroup and relax and try to think about what they're going to do on Saturday, try to bounce back from the win. And with that being said, I'd like to wish everyone a happy Thanksgiving going into the week.
Well, I was about to say this may be the final sign-off for our family of 3 here at the commentary desk, but we thank everyone who has tuned in to tonight's game and wish all of you a happy Thanksgiving. The Dolphins fall to the Falcons in this one, 64-41. Our next broadcast is coming up this weekend as Southern Connecticut State University will visit the Tank. Tip-off in that game at 1 p.m. But until then, this has been Joe Foreman alongside Nick Durst and Nicholas Bavona. Once again, have a happy Thanksgiving. Thanks for watching. Enjoy the rest of your Tuesday night, and be sure to join us on Saturday at 1 p.m. as the Dolphins take on the Owls of Southern Connecticut State.